The House is resumed. Call on Members' Order of the Day number 2.
Oaths and Declarations Upholding the Treaty of Waitangi Amendment Bill, first reading.
To Uro Flavel.
Tēnā koe, Mr. Speaker. Kia ora tātou katoa, go Obama. Mr. Speaker, I move that the oaths and declarations upholding the Treaty of Waitangi Amendment Bill be now read a first time. At the appropriate time, I intend to move that the bill be considered by the Māori Affairs Select Committee. Mr. Speaker, I came here tonight thinking all the stars aligned. Earlier today, we got a bill in my name to restore land to the people of Tauranga Moana, to Ngā Pōtiki, just not long ago, I would have been out watching Barack Obama coming to the fore to talk to the people, and then I knew I'd come to this house and talk about Te Tiriti o Waitangi and an affirmation for members of this house to make an affirmation about the Te Tiriti o Waitangi and affirm a commitment to that document, but it may not all pan out. It may not all pan out. Mr. Speaker, this bill, I think, is an extremely important bill. And for the whole of the country listening in tonight, or at least those ones who aren't looking at Barack Obama, then at least let me tell them about what this important bill is all about. This bill, sir, that has come out in my name will provide the means by which any person taking any oath set out in statute may, in addition to the words of the oath, elect to state that they will uphold the Treaty of Waitangi. So the bill will insert the optional additional words, I will uphold the Treaty of Waitangi, or ka whakaungia e au te Tiriti o Waitangi across a range of oaths and affirmations. Mr. Speaker, these simple statements on their own reflect a much broader principle. The principle that Te Tiriti o Waitangi is New Zealand's founding document and the government is committed to fulfilling its obligations as a treaty partner. And so the question tonight, sir, is that this bill might provoke is how committed are the political parties around this chamber to a vision of this nation in which Te Tiriti o Waitangi provides us with the basis for living together and creating a positive future. As some background, Mr. Speaker, 10 years ago in August 2002, Queen Elizabeth gave a speech from the throne, and she stated that, quote, the basis of constitutional government in this country is to be found in its founding document, the Treaty of Waitangi, end of quote. The Māori Party considers that our collective commitment to the Treaty of Waitangi as this nation's founding document should be expressed in all oaths and declarations included within the Oaths and Declarations Act 1957. Mr. Speaker, we did think that the national government shared the same commitment. Indeed, right up front in the opening paragraphs of the relationship accord we signed in December 2011 is the statement, quote, the National Party and the Māori Party will act in accordance with Te Tiriti o Waitangi, the Treaty of Waitangi. The treaty is our country's founding document. So the key political question between signing the accord a year ago and this bill today is, what has happened? What's happened to cause the National Party to back down from what was considered to be a statement of honour, a statement of promise for our nationhood? Well, we'll come back to you, because I could expect it from some like New Zealand First, because they believe not in anything like New Zealand Māori teams, even though one of the family might be the head of the New Zealand Māori Rugby Union. I could expect it. And I could expect, sir, that in a sense, reflecting on the Prime Minister's actions at the very start of getting together, that he gave the invitation to the Māori Party to join this agreement. And so what I asked myself is, what sort of happened? So let's just take a simple look at things. Let's just take a look at simple things. Ultimately, sir, our bill is to enable all New Zealanders, a simple choice, to express a commitment if they wish, simple choice, express a commitment if they wish to uphold Te Tiriti o Waitangi. I've got to ask myself, what's the problem? What's the problem? To express this commitment, Mr. Speaker, Clause 4 introduces a new section 4B into the Principal Act, which will allow for any person taking an oath under any statute to elect, in addition to the words of the oath, to state that they will uphold the Treaty of Waitangi. And I want to make the point quite clearly, sir, that this is an avenue for New Zealand to elect to take up. There's no compulsion. No compulsion. It's entirely up to each individual. If there's 121 members coming into the Parliament of this land next election, if one took it up, surely that's a matter of choice, an ability to make an affirmation to Te Riti o Waitangi. Entirely up to each individual to decide whether they want to elect to take up that commitment or not. Mr. Speaker, I want to return to my opening statement about the significance of this bill. It is our view that Te Riti o Waitangi is the cornerstone of the Constitution of Aotearoa. We believe that central to our maturing as a nation is the need to increase New Zealanders' exposure to and acquisition of sound knowledge of Te Riti o Waitangi and the history of our nation. And so, sir, it's perfect timing, almost a three-peat, but it's perfect timing today that this bill is going through the House at exactly the same time as the nationwide conversation is occurring about the country's constitutional arrangements. That deal was a part of our relationship accord with the National Party. And again, I ask the question, what's the problem? So this is a conversation being spearheaded by the Constitutional Advisory Panel, which is one of the key milestones anticipated in the last term of Parliament and is a central gain in the relationship between the Māori Party and the National Party. Again, the question must be asked, what's happened over the last 12 months to cause the National Party to rethink their enthusiasm for encouraging all New Zealanders to think about our national identity? And in particular, the crucial role that Te Riti o Waitangi plays in our history and our future. So as we speak right now, we know that a Constitutional Advisory Panel chaired by Sir Tipene O'Regan and Emeritus Professor John Burrows is in a full steam engagement strategy with a wide range of New Zealanders. In the conversations so far, a document that the Constitutional Advisory Panel has been consulting on, they've concluded that the treaty's accepted position as a founding document in New Zealand is the result of decades of back and forth between the iwi and the Crown. So they go further and make reference to New Zealand's government's statement of support for the United Nations Declaration on the Rights of Indigenous Peoples, which sets out a strong preference to the influence of the Treaty of Waitangi. In that statement, the government acknowledged that Māori hold a distinct and special relationship as the Indigenous people of New Zealand, reaffirming the importance of the Treaty of Waitangi as a unique feature of Indigenous rights in New Zealand. So the stage has been truly set for this bill. Indeed, we had a youth forum a couple of months ago, and so therefore I'm looking forward to hearing some of the discussion. Mr. Speaker, the time could never be better for exploring all the possibilities for New Zealanders to pledge allegiance to the treaty. We see the treaty, as I say, as a fundamental basis of our identity, not only as Māori, but as a nation, and people who hold public office should not, from our perspective, be deprived of recognising that. Today, in this first reading, Mr. Speaker, I'm conscious that we in the Māori Party have finally achieved the goal that we have been pursuing for the last 8 years at least. The Māori Party is also proud that we were the first party to take the parliamentary oath of allegiance in Te Reo Rangatira, 27th of July 2004, Tariana Turia, sworn as an MP for Te Taihoauru and co-leader of the Māori Party. This is now an established part of parliamentary protocol. 2 years on, 19th of July, Dr. Sharple signalled that the Māori Party will introduce a supplementary order to include the Te Ritian oaths and affirmations. That SOP is now turned into a fully fledged private members bill. What it does is to create an avenue for New Zealanders to declare an allegiance to Te Riti o Waitangi as our founding document. And I repeat, sir, it's about a choice to honour the treaty, to provide people with a mechanism by which they can testify their beliefs in our constitutional framework. So, the treaty was never about division, it's about establishing a foundation for unity and diversity. Hence Governor Hobson's statement, iwi ko tahi tātou. So we're greatly disappointed that some parties lack the courage all the commitment to come together united in our nationhood. We want to acknowledge all of those parties who do share a vision in which we can see the value of the treaty and adding value to building unity in a diverse nation, helping us to acknowledge our shared past and move forward to the future. I look forward to the kōrero tonight and to see exactly where everyone sits and the opportunity to respond at the end. It is under those conditions that I commend this bill to the House.
Question is that the motion be agreed to. Honourable Tau Henare.
Mr. Speaker, I'm torn about this bill. Mr. Speaker, I support absolutely and totally the thoughts, the words